Internet, you're probably wondering why I brought you here today. Well, it's a much harder question than it seems. I know it's pretty late, but I want to discuss a game that came out a while ago that's been having the entire world buzzing, and that's Noire. I literally beat it about a half an hour ago, and I was just like, what? So for those of you who haven't played the game, this is going to be a very spoiler-heavy discussion. Cole Phelps, a Silver Star awarded soldier, returns from World War II to Los Angeles to become a cop. He works his way from beat cop all the way up through the entire department until he gets to Vice. And then shit goes crazy. When I first started playing the game, there weren't really any problems that I was noticing. The question and answer, the interrogation system was really good, and it took me a while to get into the flow of everything. I couldn't just take everything for face value. You had to watch them. And it was really hard to define the line between doubt and lie, which it is. So getting people to think like that is a very effective way to accomplish what you're trying to get. I think that the whole system of the game worked fine. Shooting was good. You can turn on auto aim, the stronger guns that you can pick up from people. I'm pretty good as a shot anyway, so I was getting headshots left and right. Driving was fun, unlike most other Rockstar games, and you did have the chance, if you didn't want to drive, to just essentially warp to where the destination was, and you could still hear the fodder between your partner and yourself just before it cut to the load screen. So where did this game go wrong for me? Cole Phelps. I think he was very poorly written in the third act. You follow Cole. You get to know what happened in the war from the cutscenes in between certain cases. But aside from that, you don't really know much about the guy aside from him just wanting to be the best cop that he can be, sticking to the facts, and just being super really clean. And he doesn't really hint at the contrary very much. There are probably two scenes in the game before it gets taken to the next level where he goes to this place, the Blue Room, I believe it's called, and he sees this German singer, Elsa. She gets abused, he gets a boner for her, and stuff like that happens. But of course, Cole is a family man. So instead of taking the complicated route and having him deal with his family as well as this nagging German love interest, they just go, oh, no, I'm gonna fuck her. Which I think is really lazy. Speaking of his wife and two daughters, we never see the two daughters actually talk. And we never hear the wife talk, except for when he goes up and says, I'm sorry, let me see my girls. And in that respect, I can't really have any sympathy for a character that I know nothing about, except for, oh, she's the wife of our protagonist. And I can't really feel any sympathy for Cole because I don't know what his life at home is like, and I barely know anything about him anyway. So because we didn't really hear anything about his wife or him or their relationship, when he goes into Elsa's apartment for the first time and Roy spots them, I thought it was just something case-related. I honestly didn't legitimately think that he and Elsa were having an affair. Then he gets removed from Vice and from the force entirely, gets suspended, wife leaves him, it's all in the papers, and then, oh, okay, he's gonna find a way, he's the hero, we're gonna find a way to root for this character no matter what. And then once he starts on arson, you find out that he actually did fuck this German broad. And that's so lazy to me. Then the last three cases of the game, you switch focus to Jack Kelso, one of his war buddies that you see in the flashbacks a lot and you actually encounter in a case. But it's a character that we don't know too much about, but I honestly think we know more about than Cole. I would have rather played the game from Jack's perspective. And they teased it by leaving the last three cases to be Jack with a little bit of Cole in it. Jack and Cole. The big baddie of the game ends up being a member of their squadron back in Okinawa, which is a good storytelling device, but we didn't know too much about him either. And it's slowly revealed that Cole was kind of a dick. And Jack was a better soldier when it came to taking care of his men and getting the job done. I haven't been in war, so I don't know how I would react. This is just from a storyteller's point of view, a story acceptor's point of view. But I really think that they deflated their main character in the last hour, depending how long it takes you, of the game. One of the biggest set pieces doesn't even involve Cole. You have this huge shootout with this dude from Elysian Fields contracting in his entire big compound with some of the other Marines, and Cole's called later, you don't even talk to Cole, you talk to Cole's partner at the time, Biggs. I think the game spent a lot of time building up a character just to knock him down. That's really careless. And to be perfectly honest with you, before I even got done with Homicide, I accidentally stumbled upon a spoiler that showed that Cole died. I didn't know how he died. I just saw that Rusty shows up at his funeral. So I was expecting this really big, heroic sort of action, and while him saving Elsa and Jack from a flood is heroic. It's also very anticlimactic as well, because you spend the majority of the final chapter of the game as a different character. So it's really hard to see it. It boggles my mind. If it's supposed to cause a stir and start a conversation, well, job well done. But the end too, at Cole's funeral, where they do the sort of thing where they cover up all of the bad shit that happened and they celebrate him as a hero, and his wife and daughters are in the front row, not saying a goddamn word, especially when Elsa goes up and says, "You're disgracing his memory." They don't even go, "Don't you even." Like, and again, I can't feel sympathy for them because I don't know what their characters are. Like, oh, they're the wife and kids. That sucks for them. And then Jack and Biggs have a moment, and you don't know if Roy is really sad or not. And I think they just really dropped the ball, which is a shame. And I mean, nobody's going to see this from Team Bonnie, and it doesn't really matter because they complain so much. The studio's probably going to be dismantled anyway. So my overall feeling of L.A. Noire is, I think I'm glad I played it. I'm glad I played it in the sense that I get to talk to people about it, but I'm not really happy with the result. Am I supposed to be? And a quick thing about the tech. I know it's really revolutionary to have that sort of motion capture, but there are times when people would be talking and then they would like reset, and it would just completely pull me out, and that made me really sad. So if you stuck around to the end, that means you finished playing the game. What did you think? Leave me a video response that was actually like, we're talking. Or a comment, whatever you want to do. If you like these late reviews or these reviews in general, let me know and I'll start doing them more often. I would love to talk about Infamous too as well. Thanks again for watching, and play L.A. Noire, I guess. Wait for it to come down in price, that's what you should do. Or just wait for a better game to come out. I know I only have one camera, but check out the motion capture on this. What do we have? Headbutt!